Hi everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful week. Today we're going to do lesson 64, parts 6 to 9. So let's take a look at part 6. We have to write an addition or multiplication fact for each group of numbers. And we'll always write our equation so the equal sign comes after the first number. So since we're adding and multiplying, I know that our answer will be a bigger number. So I'm going to find the biggest number in our first group, 15. Write that here. So we always include our answer first. So 15 equals, and I'll look at the other numbers we have left. We have 3 and 12. Now I know 3 times 12 does not equal 15, but 3 plus 12 will. So there's our first equation. 3 plus 12. And now let's look at B. Let's find our biggest number, since we know that will be our answer. We have 6. And now we know 2 plus 3 will equal 5, but 2 times 3 will equal 6. So 6 equals 2 times 3. So now you can pause this video and finish C and D on your own, and then come back for part 7 when you're ready. For part 7, we have fractions on a number line. So we're going to write the fractions for the whole number on the number line. So I'll just write it out here. All right, so what we first have for 0, and then we have our bottom number, which is 360. Now our first step is to match our bottom number. So we know the rest of our fraction will all have the bottom number of 360. So let's write that in. Okay, now we know that if we're missing a top number out of a fraction, we multiply the whole number. So we'll do 0 times 360, which will give us 0. And then for the whole number of 1, we're going to multiply our bottom number again to get our top number. So we have 1 times 360 will give us 360. Now we have 2 times 360 will give us our top number. So let's write this on the side. We have 360 times 2. So let's first do 0 times 2 will give us 0. 6 times 2 will give us 12. I'll write the 2, carry the 1. Next we have 3 times 2, which will give us 6, plus the 1 on top will be 7. So our top number is 720. Now you can solve the top number for the whole number of 3 on your own, and then join me for part 8 when you're ready. So for part 8, we have some multiplication, addition, and subtraction problems. So let's do the first one together. We have 28 times 49. So my first step is going to multiply the 9. So we have 9 times 8 and 9 times 2. So we know 9 times 8 equals 72. I'll drop the 2 and carry the 7. And next we have 2 times 9, which will give us 18, plus the 7 on top will give us 25. So our first answer is 252. Since we've added the 7, I'll cross that out so we won't get confused. I'll use a different marker now. Now we're looking at our 4, but it's not a 4, it's a 4D. So we got to make sure that we're representing the tens column by adding our 0 here, and then we'll multiply 4 times 8 and 4 times 2. So 4 times 8 will give us 32. I'll drop the 2 and carry the 3. And then we have 2 times 4, which will give us 8, plus the 3 on top, which will give us 11. And now we have to add these two together. So 2 plus 0 is 2, 5 plus 2 equals 7, 2 plus 1 equals 3, and then we have 1. So make sure we add our comma to show the thousands place, and our answer is 1,372. So you can pause here and finish up part 8 and come back for part 9 when you're ready. So for part 9, we're making some number families for each problem. So let's do one together. We'll do A. So I'll read it off. There were 1,501 animals. 479 of them were not horses, and the rest were horses. So how many were horses? So let's draw our number family here. Now I know they want to know how many horses there are. We know how many animals were not horses. And horses, and our big number is all the animals. So we know that there were 1,501 animals. 479 were not horses. And now we're looking to see how many horses there were. So since we're looking for a small number, we need to subtract our other small number from our big number. So sorry, I'll write it here. We have 1,501 minus 479. So I'll just put this a little higher. All right, so we have 1 minus 9, which we know we can't do. And we go next door, but we can't take anything because there's a 0. So we have to go over again. Take 1 from the 5. That becomes a 4. This 1 will then make this 0 a 10. But we're still looking at our ones place. We still don't have enough to subtract 9 from. So then we'll take 1 from our 10. That becomes 9, and this becomes 11. So you're just passing along that 1 until we have enough to subtract 9. So we have 11 minus 9, which will give us 2. We have 9 minus 7, which will give us 2 again. 4 minus 4 is 0. And we have 1 minus 0 equals 1. So there were 1,022 horses on the farm. So now you can pause here. That's it for our video, and we'll finish up part 9. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye.